Hello,
Oh,
can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, okay, um, I understand your confusion from the previous class. I will try my best not to confuse you anymore. So, every class, from the coming classes, if you have any comments, please let me know at the end of the class. What did you like, what you disliked, and then we will try to improve that in the coming classes. Okay? Yoru, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Um, okay, so I have a look at your code that you provided to me. So can you please just brief me a bit about from where you get this code? And did you have a starter code or you built this code totally from scratch?
So my teacher gave me this code and she told us to study it.
To study it. Okay, so the code is totally written to you.
I didn't write it. I don't know, maybe my teacher wrote it. I don't know.
Aha, okay, okay. So, hmm. Well, the code needs slight improvement, but okay, let us go at the concepts in this code. So far, from what I understand from your mother, that I understood that there is certain errors that is coming out of this code. Is it true, or did I understand wrongly?
No, because my teacher should usually give us some questions and she'll ask us to do modifications, like or add a subroutine for
Aha,
whatever based on the code that she provided us.
okay.
And then sometimes when I'm trying to do modifications or whatever, there's errors and I don't know what's wrong with it.
Okay, okay, I understand now. Okay, I think that is a better clarification. Thanks for clearing that to me. So, okay, I will go, I will handle or hold every piece of code that is in the example or the file that you passed to me, and then I will go through explanation for that. Okay, and I will also give you some exercises and also a way to improve that and also a way to test any code. So just let me tell you first, if we have a bigger code, it is very, very hard and it takes a lot of time if we want to test the whole code one shot. So maybe I briefed that or maybe I didn't. Before I studied to become a teacher, I actually was a programmer. So I used to write code for companies. And I would say just in short that I write code that is still running in US and maybe slightly in Germany. I've been working for a company in Kolim. Did you hear about Kedah Kolim?
Mhm.
Okay, so we write software for machines that is exported to US and Germany. So I have been writing code for long, and I know very well that sometimes a software project can be not only 200 lines or maybe 100 lines like what you are passing to me, it can be even 6,000 lines. So to be able to test that big code, it is almost impossible, and it will create a lot of headache for you. So we try to test every little code or every method that we create one by one first before we start testing the whole code together. Okay. So now let me try to understand one concept from you first, if you really grab the idea behind it or not. So we have let me confirm. Yeah, that yes, I think yes. So can you see this code in front of you? Are you
Yeah.
able to, yeah. So what this code actually does?
So first of all, it's defining some array.
Okay. Yeah, and this is the array.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the sum, and this is the result, and this is the sum is the result is being printed out. So from there, are you able to tell me from this kind of code, what are we doing here?
Um,
Any idea? I didn't hear you. It's okay if you want to take your time, but I just I have to check with you if sometimes the voice is not very clear. So I just want to. Are you confused?
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Wait. I think it's
Oops, I apologize. Okay. Yeah.
it's just adding all the elements in the array.
Excellent. That is excellent. Yes. Yes. So did you ever see this sum method before?
No, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Ah, okay. So this is okay. That's actually good. So that you so it means I'm guessing also that you never see this max and minimum methods before. Have you?
No.
Okay. So sum, it will actually sum all the elements here without you need to really create any for loops for that reason. So, and max, you pass it an array, it will get you the highest number. So if I pass this numbers array to the method max, which is a ready method in Python, it will give me 4. And if I pass the same array here to min, it will give me the lowest or the smallest number. In this case, it is 1. And the sum, as we said, it will add every element here, and it will return that and save it in a variable, and we will return the variable. And the variable that is being returned will be stored in a result. Let me try to confirm with you. Are you comfortable with this concept that we are returning something from a method and then we are assigning it to another variable this way? Is that comfortable in your eyes, or there is a confusion that I need to address?
I know that return total means that you return the calculated total, but then I don't know what has to do with results since they didn't mention it.
Okay, so result is a variable that I created. So, okay, let me tell you one thing. How is your understanding of variable scopes? Do you understand what does it mean that total is a local variable to the method that is called sum array? A local variable means that once we reach that line and we execute it, total, and we reach this position exactly, total start to disappear from the memory. It means that typically the RAM have a certain area that is dedicated to store whatever variables that we create in our method that is called sum array. So we here have a variable that's called total, and we give it some value. Let's assume that okay, 4, 3, and then 3. This is almost 10. Okay, so another place, and this is our main program, which is this area. Okay, so this area, although both of them are in the same file, but they cannot access each other variable. So here is numbers defined, here is result defined, okay, and here is the print. Okay, so in this case, when I called sum array from inside the main, and then I go to a totally different area, and I created a variable called total, and I do some calculation and saved the result in total. If I want to finish execution here, and then I want to return back to main, if I don't save that total to some variable inside the main, I will lose its content. So if I say here a print statement like that, and I try to print total, like that, he will give me an error. Do you know why?
It will give you an arrow.
Error, yes. Any idea?
Because total's not. Oh wait. I don't know.
Okay, so total is not defined in the area in the memory that is belong to the main. And where is the main? This is the main. This is the code that belong to the main, and it have a different area in the memory from the area that is dedicated for the sum array. So that's why total cannot be seen in the main. It's only local variable to this method. So okay, let me just try to this seems to be new to you, is it?
I just didn't see it.
You didn't see before?
No,
Okay.
I did see it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, give me a second, please. I would okay, so let me just try to, okay, so this is define some array like that, and we say we take an array and we are defining total like that, and the total takes the sum of an array, and then we return total like that. Okay, so, and I would also test trying to print total here, and then I will go down here. I will define numbers, and okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I would say total. No, let me say results equal, and then I will call the method that is called sum array, and then I will pass it my numbers. Okay, and then I will print result equal result like that. And then I will try also, let me check why he doesn't like it like that. Let me see. Okay, and I will also try to print total. Total, yeah, okay. So let me try to clear that and try to run. So, okay, do you see 10 is printed? And that is the result here. So okay, one technique also to let you be aware of that, when we're trying to troubleshoot a code, the print statement is your friend. Everything that you can do, I mean, every time that you try to make sure that a function really works correctly, so you have to put a lot of print statements. That will help you a lot, because this is the only way to detect that the part of the code that you write is actually really working as you expect. So I will always use text also. So I will say inside some array, just to make sure that this print statement actually is really indicative to me. So this 10 belong to here. Okay, so I managed to print total inside the sum array. But then if you see the result also is 10, it means that this result here that I printed, it actually printed correctly. So I managed to get here 10 safe inside the total 10, and I managed to assign that to a variable that's called result. And when I printed result, I got the same 10. So when I called this function, when I call that function, which is sum array, it get executed. So it go and execute that number of lines until line number 4. And then whatever returned, it will be stored inside the variable. Is that clear concept to you, or I need to detail more than that?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So when I print result, it print 10 and there is no issue so far, if I am not mistaken. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, now let's go to the topics that we would like to discuss. Name error. So the name total is not defined. It is not defined. Why? Because it is a local variable to the method that is called sum array. I managed to print total inside sum array, but outside it, it have no definition. It is already, once I execute that line, this total variable inside the RAM, this total variable is actually deleted, totally deleted. It have no presence. After this sum array being called, and this line is returning back with the 10 that I got here, and it is saved here, total is not defined anymore. That's why I cannot print it. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
So you know now why we need to return values, and we save it inside variables in our main. Is that clear to you? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So we return back here. Okay, so the concept mainly that I'm showing you here is actually to discuss what was mentioned inside the file. But of course, I need to make sure that all the concepts of passing arrays to function is already clear to you. So, okay, typically, we do not use global a lot. That is not a preferred method. So if we want to deal with an array that is defined like that, so we consider numbers as a global variable. Do you know what's the meaning global?
Yeah, it means that you can call from outside. Wait, no. It means like outside the.
It is defined in the global scope, which means that it can be available to all the methods or the procedures that we are able to define inside our code. So if you define an array inside a method, it will never be available to any other function. But when you define numbers as global like that, so any method that you create are able to access it. But that's not the perfect way to deal with. But since your teacher already put it, so we have to deal with that concept anyway. But yeah, so that is the first thing that I would like to make sure that you really understand. That is the thing. And so again, global is less professional than we should. We should, as much as we can, if we want to modify an array like that, we should pass it as an input. We should minimize as much as we can the use of the word global. Okay. May I know, did you understand? No, first of all, did you understand what I said?
For the brackets in the ARR, can you put anything, or does it have to be ARR?
Yes, definitely. The naming is up to you. You can define anything. You can put X. You can put list. You can put anything. It's up to you. Totally up to you. You can put any name. The naming is totally up to you. Okay. But I put here ARR, and I didn't put numbers because I want to tell you this name and this name doesn't have to be the same.
Okay.
Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, that is good. Okay. So I want to also make sure that this concept of mutable objects and immutable objects is clear to you. I know that will seem a bulky topic, but just this is simple. I will only touch through it. I will not go into more details. I just want to make sure that this concept is clear to you. Mutable is, I would say, let's go for examples. So a list is a mutable. You didn't study dictionaries, I believe, right?
No,
And even sets, you didn't study it. Am I right?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
so
remember lists.
so only list. Okay, so a mutable object is a list. What do we mean by a mutable object? So any object that is mutable is something that it have an initial value like that, and I'm able to really modify it or append something to it. So I can make it become like that, and I can change its content without the need to recreate the original array. So this is what we say mutable, or what we call mutable. So what is an example of immutable objects? Strings, tuples, integers, floats. So what does this mean, immutable? So if you define a string that is called ru, like that, if you ever decided that, sorry, okay, if you ever decide that S need to change its content to hello, euro. So in reality, we do not really go to the place in the RAM. So this is a place in the RAM, and this is S, and this is contained initially, euro, like that. So if we want to modify the content of S, we don't really use the same space anymore in the RAM. We delete that space, that name, and we reserve a new space in the memory, and we call it S, and we put hello euro. Okay, so you can say, but what is this? Why this is important to us? Actually, it is important because I will show you now that if you modify an array inside the method, you don't have to return the array. So, okay, but when you deal with strings, when you deal with integers, when you deal with floats, you actually, if you modify strings and you want to retain the value, you have to return it from your method. So how is this done? We will see with an example to clarify that. Can you please, okay, programming is not learned by only explaining me like that. I typically, the best achievement that I have seen with my students is that when they write with their own hands. So I will explain that, but I still need you to actually write. Are you able to open your Replit? And until it opens, I will go through this example, and then you can try it on your own, please, if you don't mind.
Okay. Can I use Google Colab instead?
No problem. Yes, no problem. Anything will do. Okay.
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 Yeah, my book is open.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Do you see the method that we created here that's called modify string?
Yeah.
And we see here we're given an input S.
Yeah.
And we call modify string, and we passed our string that is containing hello.
Yeah.
Okay. May I know if we modify the string like that, if we make a print statement here and we try to print my string, what will be printed out actually? What is the output of this?
Hello.
Only hello, and it will not be hello world.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hello world.
Why?
Because it's world is indefined, which is not a global variable.
Excellent.
It's inside, it's not outside. It's not in the main.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Okay, then if you understand that, then that is excellent. But now look at this code. I know that try to look at the code first before we talk about it, and tell me if you understand anything from this code. At least start looking not from here, start looking from here.
So it's defining modify reference list, and then in the list it's adding 200 to the list.
Okay. And then if if I call that function and I pass it my list, and I add 200 here, and I want to print my list again here down, will it print this, or it will print with 200?
I don't think it'll print. I don't think it'll print with 200.
Okay, then if you don't mind, please, can you write this code in your compiler, please?
Okay.
How is it going?
Oh, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so when you write that, did you call this modifier reference and you pass it my list?
Yeah.
Okay, can you share with me your code, please, if you don't mind?
Okay. Um. Wait. Wait.
How you share? And there is a
Wait. No.
button. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's good. So, okay. So you managed to call the method that is called modify, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you manage to put any print statement for my list after you call the modify reference function?
What?
Okay. So we have a method that's called modify reference. After you call the modify reference, did you try to print the array that's called my list again?
No.
Okay, can you try please to put a line? Because it takes like 20 seconds until I'm able to see your screen for the first time you share. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, that is actually excellent what you have done so far, but I want you to, so this is a definition. If you try to run now, it will only print this, okay? But I want you to call this.
Oh.
Yeah, so yes,
Oh.
under this, I want you to call that. Yes, press enter. Yes, excellent. Call modify. And then you pass it my list. You open a bracket and you pass it. Yes. Excellent. Okay. So can we try to run now? So good. So this comes from this. And this printing come because of this print statement. And the last print here produced to me this list. Do you see that I managed to get the 200 that was added inside the method when I printed here for the first time? And when even I printed it here after in the main, I still find the 200. Can you know why? Any idea?
What was your question?
Okay. Okay. Tell me from when you lost me, and then I will try to explain again. You lost me only.
The question.
Okay. So the question is, do you know why we're still getting the 200 when we printed the list here on this line?
Because you've already called it. You've already called modify reference on the line before.
Okay, but if you remember the code that I shared with you a while ago, that we passed a string, and inside the method, we modified the string and we put the text world here like that. And then when we call it, it does not, it only printed hello, if you can remember that. So why here we managed to edit or modify the original list, but we cannot do that with a string? Any idea?
Because the string, because the string isn't defined. It's just in quotations.
Okay. So actually, there is a strong reason for yes, thanks for that. So there is a strong reason. Like I told you, lists are actually how to say, mutable objects. This means that we are able to modify it. That is one thing. Second thing is that when we pass, I think you didn't hear this concept before. When we pass my list here to this method, we pass the reference to it in the memory. So in the memory, the RAM, actually this my list that contain this 10, 20, and 30. Actually, it have an address. So this actually have an address. Let's assume that this address is maybe 10, 5, 3, 2. This is an address in the memory. Okay. So when I passed my list, I pass the address of the real object or the real list or array. Okay. So when this method actually try to modify, they actually add 200 to this exact position. But if you if you do a string that is called only hello like that, and if you pass it to a method to change it, actually you are not really passing the address of this string. You are actually taking a copy from this content and passing it to the string. I think I believe you never heard about this concept before. can I send you the codes that, give me a second. I will send you the code and I would like you to actually try this code here. So what I will do, I will send you an image for the code on the WhatsApp that we are having a group on. And then I would like you to write that code here in the same file. So these codes have this modify string method. So can you write that code, please? In the same file? Is it possible?
Oh, yes, it's possible.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
Code, go back to code, please. That here.
Where do I pressed?
You try to press code. Let me see. I am not able to point. Are you able to? Oops. Are you able to press code here? Code here, like that. Okay, it seems that you having. Can you slowly go up? I think this is the code that you write before.
Yeah, this last time.
Okay.
What did I? Okay, here it is.
Okay, that's good. No, you still did not put. Where do you find my string? So this, yeah, you have to define that. Okay, can you try to run then? No, careful. The indentation is wrong. You have to, the indentation, yes, you have to start from this, yes. And press enter, please. Yeah. Press enter after this line, yes, yes, excellent. Did you define this correct? Yeah, okay. It does not print out. Can you try to print out my string below here? Yes. So like you said before, this hello still printed only this hello, although we take it here and we change it inside the method. Can you try to put a print statement and print S like that inside here? Yes, but put the print S inside the method. You're putting it in the main. Yes, excellent. So can you see the hello world was actually printed? So it means that we managed to modify S. We pass it to the method and it contained already hello, and we added word to it and we printed it. And this is the result. Am I right? But when you come, although you modify it here, but you come to print it in the main, it is still printed only hello. But this does not happen when we deal with a list. So it means that the list, every time I modify the list, I do not need to return the list. Actually, I'm modifying the original list without even making any return statement here. Is that concept clear, or are you still confused from it? Confused?
I think I'm clear.
Okay. Can I ask you something, please? If you
Yeah.
can you put a return statement here after the print? Okay, return S space S. Okay, and then no need to run, not yet, because if you want to see the real effect, so I would say that you actually put this my string here. So you put my string equal modify string like that. So this, before this line, you put my string equal like that. So you put this, you add this portion. Okay. So pass it my string. When you call a function, you have to pass something to it using a bracket. Are you confused?
What do you want me to do?
Oh, sorry. Okay, you're confused. I want you to put my string inside here. I want you to pass an input. Yes. Yes. Okay. Can you please try to modify this line? Comment it. Yes. Comment that line. Yes. Excellent. Can you run? Now, can you see the difference now? Can you notice the difference? That now I am no longer printing only hello. I am now printing hello world inside and even outside like this. So this is the result of this. And this is the result of this. Did you notice any difference? I mean, once we changed here and we make a return S, and then we save whatever we returned into the original my string. And then we are able to exactly print the modified string. Does this make sense to you? Is it confusing to you?
Oh, I can understand it, but it's a bit complicated.
A bit complicated. Okay.
Yeah, but I understand it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because this is important. When the most important is not actually this concept. The most important is to understand my list. That here, I do not need to use a return statement to return the modified list. I have a list. I managed to modify it in a method. And when I print it, I get the modified version. This is the most important here, not the string. I just want you to understand this. If you don't, then we have to find a way to simplify it more. But because seems to be new, so typically sometimes it takes time and practice. So it is, if you understand with me now 60 to 70%, then I'm happy with that at the moment. Did you understand 60 or 70% of what I'm saying about list?
Yeah.
Okay, then we continue. Okay, so I will, you stop sharing and then I will share, okay? Okay, let me see here. Did you ever see this code before? Oh, can you guess what this code is doing?
So it's saying deck is a range of 1 to 14. Any number from 1 to 14.
Yes, yes.
And then you times it by 4.
And then
And
it
then
printed out.
and then you get that You get that.
Okay. Are you able to write this code, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Write it, please. Are you able to guess what kind of output this code would produce?
Or just produce any number between 1 to 14 times, which is whatever number between 1 to 14, it will times 4 and then it'll print that number.
Okay, have a look first at the output and then let me know. So this is related to the first method that that is inside your code. So inside your code, you have a method that's called create values.
Yeah, I will print it for. I'll print it.
So I believe, did you manage to print?
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe you see the numbers from 1 until 14, and then it is repeated again from 1 until 14. Then it is repeated again from 1 until 14. And then for the fourth time, it is repeated from 1 until 14. So this is the list that you should be seeing. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, the first thing that we get by this called range from 1 to 14 is that we are getting numbers from 1 until 14. And then we converting them to a list. And then we multiply this by 4 to replicate that without using a for loop. So just even if you don't understand this complicated manner, complicated code, that is not important. It's totally fine. The concept that I'm trying to tell you here, if you try to make a copy from the list and multiply it to make it replicate for 4 times like that, you just need to use this kind of thing. Multiply the list by 3, by 2, by whatsoever. So inside the get value, did you already studied the code in your that you passed to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, if you want to understand what this 2 for loops that you was producing, so let me just try to share this so that you are more. I think you can see the code here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see here, you make this for loop, 2 for loops, or maybe it's given to you, you didn't do it.
No, this just what they gave.
Okay, so do you know what this code is doing, or I need to simplify it and explain it to you?
For what? For count and repeat 3 times.
So
Yeah.
it is counting, yes, 3 times, yes, it's true. So for every value inside value set, you are actually appending them to values, and you're repeating that for 3 times. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it means that you will add from 1 until 13 inside values 3 times. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, the code that I just tried to pass to you is to actually do the same like this by just using multiplication by 3. So if you multiply a list by 3, okay, then it will give you exactly equivalent code to what you are seeing. If you understand this for loop, totally fine. If you don't understand, then there is another way to be doing it in a simple way in only 1 line. Okay, so this is what I was trying to tell you. Let me again share here. So I think you can see my code, right? No, not my code, the slides. So what we want to say here, that if I have an alphabet list like that, and then I want to create a list that is repeating ABC like that for 5 times. And
Yeah.
so on. So I multiply by 5. Just in one line. No need to make 2 for loops specifically for that specific reason. Did I manage to give you, did I manage to explain that, or I make it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, are you able to please write these 3 lines?
Yeah.
Okay, did you see this printed out, how it looks like? Does it look like what I'm trying to convey to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will say here, that the benefit of list multiplication, it is that it is a compact way to repeat lists. It eliminates the nested loops in many scenarios. And then I move to the next. So if your value set, if you have a value set like that, and you want to, so your value set is actually bigger than this, right? I'm just giving you a short version of the value set. Your value set is from 1 until 13. Am I right? In the code.
Yeah.
Okay, so you multiply this value set by 3 using that line. So you are able to actually assign that and make and put all the content here multiplied by 3. It means that it's repeated 3 times inside the array that's called values. And you are able to print values, and then it will give you whatever you already inserted here. So no need to repeat that nested loop just to add values here. So far clear? Or
Yeah.
it's confusing?
Is it
Yeah.
value set? So you just repeat the value set 3 times.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then put it inside values. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Did you hear about tuple before?
No.
Okay. In this case, I don't want to. Let me see. So because that, so this is your shuffle, right? Is that your shuffle value?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's slightly shorter version of your code. So inside your shuffle values, you actually have something similar to this. Is it true? But you have 2 of those. You have 2 lines from here.
Yeah, mine's different from yours though.
Slightly. Mine is slightly compact. So let me go to your code. Can you see now the code, right?
Yeah.
So in reality, you are trying to guess 2 positions, 2 random positions. Am I right? So when you multiply this list by 3, so it means that we got 13 times 3, which produce something like what? 39? 39 numbers, right? So am I right?
Yeah.
So that's why he's saying from 0 until 38. So the size of the array is 39, but it is from 0. You know that our arrays always start from 0, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So he is, do you really understand this code? Can you explain it to me?
Okay, so could you zoom in a bit?
Yes, definitely. Let me try to zoom it a bit, okay? Okay. Let me see if I can zoom it a bit.
Okay.
Is it zoomed this way?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's good.
So it's saying position 1 equals whatever number, like a random number from 0 to 38, and then position 2 is whatever number between 0 to 38 again.
Okay.
And then temporary value will be the value in position in the values list in the first position.
Okay, never mind, no need to explain line by line. What is the purpose of these 3 lines?
The swap.
Swap, excellent. Okay, so if you do the swap, okay, fine. So, and can I know why you are repeating that 100 times?
Because they want to.
Okay, so, but you know what? We only have 39 numbers. Why we need to make them 100 times?
Make sure they're all shuffled.
Okay, but if I go one by one, from 0 until 39, or even from 0 until 38, then I can make sure that the numbers is really shuffled. But it seems that because you are doing this, so okay, because you are randomly getting the 2 positions, it means that there is a high possibility that you don't really shuffle certain numbers. That's why you have to do it 100 times. But in reality, there is a way to improve this code. But if this is not part of your requirements, then it's okay. But the point here that from the normal IGCSE exams, how to say, you really need to understand what's going on here. I mean, yes, in this case, I understand you need to. This is an exercise that is giving to you, and then you have to follow the exercise text or what is the requirement. Am I right?
Yeah.
But maybe you don't really understand why is it given 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So in reality, if I want to, the correct way to do this kind of swapping, if you're talking about the final exam, because the teacher will not be involved in the final exam, am I right? It's a standard exam.
Yeah.
Okay, so typically, if you want to talk about standard exam and really understanding what you should be doing, so you only need actually one random number, not 2. And then you loop.
Times 2.
Sorry again?
Can you like times 2?
Yeah, okay, sorry. Does this improve a bit?
No, I mean like can you times 2 instead of writing position 1, position 2?
No, not here. You cannot do that here. So you cannot do that here because, so what is the purpose of times 2? This position, this position actually is a number that is getting, so you want to multiply it by 2. So if you generate here 10, for example, you multiply by 2. What is the purpose? Any purpose in your eyes? So if I produce here 10 or maybe 20 and multiply by 2, what is the purpose? It can be a number that is even exceeding 38. So it means that if you have an array like that from 0 until 38, so you multiply it by 2, you might be even getting an index that is. So do you understand what the meaning an index, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So multiplying by 2 does not really help. The thing is, your loop should start from 0 until 38. So when you start from 0, you're saying, okay, I got this element 1, here 2, and then 3. And then the last element I have is 13. So I say, when for this count, when the count equals 0, I would like to generate position 1. So I generate position 1 position 1 like that. So I put, maybe I generate 5. So I go to the position that is called, let me say, I think we got 6 here. So this is the position 5 in the array. What is the array? Of course, it is our values array. So, okay, at count equals 0, I got this element 1. And then I generated 5 here using the random. So I take these numbers and try to swap them. So I bring 1 here and I bring the 6 here. So the result after this first step, it will be something like this. Is that 0 will have 6, and then the position 5 will actually have 1. And then the range will increase the count. So the count will no longer become 0, it will become 1. So it means that I take the position 1 and start to generate a random number, and then I change this to content, maybe with the position maybe 6. So I change them like that. So I go to see every single number in this list and swap it. So it means that this is a real shuffling. And I end where? Once I reach 38. So my range in reality, in the practical way, should be 38. But when this will happen, if I remove this line. So this line is actually complicating the matter. That's why your teacher, or maybe the person who provides the code, need to do this 100 times. 100 times means that you need to keep shuffling more than 3 times the size of your array, because you want to guarantee that all of them is shuffled. But if you go one by one and do the swapping, you will guarantee that they are all actually shuffled. Okay, so now let me try to understand from you one thing, if you don't mind. Did you take bubble sort? Euro?
Yeah.
Did you take bubble sort?
Did I what?
Bubble sort?
Oh, bubble sort? Yeah, I know what bubble sort is.
Okay. Let me share with you. Can you see my code?
Yeah.
So do you understand what is these 2 lines doing?
For I in the range of the values in the.
You know what is the purpose of len values?
What's a len again?
Okay, so the len is the length of the array values.
Oh, yeah, the length. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, however long the list, the length of the
Values.
value,
Yes.
the values list, then that's how many times it will randomize the values.
Okay.
-1.
So, okay, if I say like that, temp, and I would say, let me see here. So I put this like this, and then I would say this is put like this. And then if I say values, is this similar to what your teacher provide? She write here position 1, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is position 1, And this is, instead of swap index, we put position 1. This is position 1. Okay, so I'm creating here create values, and then I'm doing the shuffling, and then I'm sharing with you the result here. So you can see this is the result of create values. So can you see here that I'm repeating from 1 until 13 3 times? Can you see that here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have done the shuffling. So I have done the shuffling. Just this is how this looks like after the shuffling. You see? Now from 1 is swapped with 6. Now 2 is becomes 13. So all the numbers actually swapped. Again, I'm just only slight modification here that I'm using here this random int, but only one of them. And I am only using the loop, not 200. Because if I write 100, and then you come in the exam, and then you don't know why they put 100. Maybe you put 200. And then, to me, that will be a guess game, because you don't know this 100 number come from where. But here, I'm telling you, you are using from I until range of what? Of the size of your values. Your values actually have 39 numbers. That's why you put here the length of values. So you loop it through every element in your array. Still confusing to you? Does it make any sense or no?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Okay. So, but do you really benefit from what I'm saying, or you are missing me, or how is it on your side?
Oh, I get it.
You get it. Okay. So
You try to do questions because sometimes when I get it, but then when I try to do it, I don't know what to do.
training. I mean, so it, again, programming is like mathematics. If you do not practice and solve more exercises, so I'm giving you an explanation of a code, and I'm answering you, and even you are writing a code and you're understanding it. But writing a code on your own from scratch does not come just by watching a code like what I'm doing with you in the moment. So we have to solve programming questions together. We have to get exercises and solve it. If you don't, then definitely you will not be able to solve alone. So because it's need a practice. So I'm giving guidance only at the moment. But since we have limited classes, so I just want to make sure that I answer your questions. But we need to practice answering questions together. So when we do that, your skills will actually improve little by little. And this is normal. What you are seeing is not only in you. You seem to be a smart. I mean, I have seen slow learners, and you are not. You are not in this case. But you might be just lacking practice. Okay? Okay. Let me just, so in this, I'm trying to actually, if I show you that, you will get confused. Let me go back to your code that your teacher provided to you. So, okay. You see this get value?
Yeah.
Okay. Any idea what this is doing?
So it's calling the global values, like the bracket, the list values, and then currently it's saying it's 0. So when position is 0 and and it is confirmed that it's okay, so it's already confirmed that it's false. If values position is not 0, if the values if if the values in the values list is the position is not 0, then value then the value will Wait.
So
Then
yeah, okay.
then the value
He will
would
put
change.
0 in a position in the position. So what he's trying to get is means that from the values array, he is trying to retrieve a value that does not have 0. Okay, so it is like okay, a list of cards. He's trying to withdraw a card from the list of cards, and the card have a value. And so this is my list. This is the list that is contained in values. We said that, sorry, this is 39. The size is 39, and we are running from 0 until 38. So this while loop will loop through the numbers inside this array. But okay, and then this found is a flag. So we use flags. So this is a flag. So we use flags to actually put it in conditions where we are able to stop a while loop if our condition is satisfied. So the flags start with false, and then once my condition is satisfied, I change the flag value to true. This is what I have done here because I managed to find what I'm looking for. So what this while is doing is actually looping through the array. It doesn't use for. It actually, so the for and range, so I in range, if you're having a for loop, so every time, if you say this is a length of values like that, so I in range, every time I will start from 0, and then every time the for loop runs, it will increment to become 1, 2, until we reach 38. No problem with that, right? But
Yeah.
but the while loop is operating in a different way. The I, we don't have to say I equal I plus 1. It is done automatically for us in the for loop. In the while, it's a different story. To simulate how the for loop runs using while, we have to use this, which means that I have to manually increment the position where I'm going to look inside the values list. So have a look here. This if statement saying what? Values at position 0, because the position here start from 0. At position 0, if it is not equal 0, if there is a element inside the array that is not equal 0, okay, so do these steps, okay? But if it is equal 0, what we'll do, he will go to else. So if it is equal 0, he is not interested in this 0 number. So he will increment the position from 0, he make it 1, because he add 1 to it. And then he go to the while loop and check again. Is it found still false? Yes, it is still false, because we didn't run this code yet. So again, he will check values at position 1, which is here. Is it not equal 0 or equal 0? I can see now here it is equal 0. So it means that I will not run this kind of code. I will add to the position 1. So 1 plus 1, it means that my position now become 2. So I go to check the found here. Is it still false? Oh, it is still false. I never run here. So I will go to the if statement and see values at position 2, which is here. Is it not equal 0? Yes, we have 3 here. So I will going to execute that because it is not equal 0. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to take this 3 and put it inside a variable that's called value. And then I'm going to change the content of the found flag to become true. Okay. And then I will go back to check my while loop. Is it found still false? No, it become true already. So I will exit the while. Once I exit the while, I see that I have a return statement that's called return value. So, but I want you to notice one thing. When we took the 3 out from here, so it means that you have a list of cards on top of each other, maybe, for example, and then you withdraw one from them, and it has the value of 3. So it means that you need to put 0 in this place because you already take it out. So once you withdraw one card, it cannot be used anymore. You have to put a 0 instead of it. You only use it once. Did that make sense to you so far? Is that clear what I'm trying to explain to you, or is it hard to grasp?
Yeah, I understand.
So do you understand what this code get value is doing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay. Okay. One more comment that I would like to highlight to you. Actually, this code also need to get improvement, but since it's given to you by your teacher, so okay, forget about the improvement. We focus only about understanding how the code really works. But I noticed that there is many things that is being used here, which is against programming in general. So we need to have consistency in naming variables. Variables always should start with a small letter, not with a capital letter. Okay, and this is a very common practice, and not me say it. That is, the books say it. I'm not sure about in your case what is the situation with your teacher, but so when you name values or variable names, you need to use, instead of a V capital, V small. When you call found, you need to use F small. When you use position, you need to use P small. Okay. So I need to check because I'm teaching the IGCSE 0478. I'm also teaching the A level 09618. So I know the syllabus and the exact exam requirements for those, but I have to check your AQA exact requirement towards if they allow this kind of capital letters as you write, or they forgive it, they don't really mind about it. But for me, you should always use small letters when you're talking about variable names. Okay, is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that is good. Okay, a small comment. So this is also a little comment about if you have a for loop and this you are not using, it means that you put an I here and you are not using the I inside your code. So actually you can replace I with dash. So can you, if you don't mind, do you mind writing this code, please?
Okay.
You're exhausted, I believe so.
I'm okay. There's an error. I don't know.
Okay, can you share your code? Okay, what is the error? Okay, name random is not defined. We have to import random. So I think yes, excellent. So can you tell me now, if you put I here, if you remove this dash and put I, will it still work?
Yeah, it will still work.
Okay.
It will still work.
Okay, but actually, why I removed the I and put dash? If I am not using the I or the variable name here inside the for loop, then I'm able just to replace it with a dash and it will work. But if I'm using the variable here for some reason, okay, then I will put a variable name. In this case, I'm not. Do you know what this code is doing?
Yeah. So, repeat 10 times, add a number in the a random number from 1 to 6 to the rows list, and then print die rows, and then
Excellent.
space, then
Okay,
whatever number
excellent.
give.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. That's good. Okay, let me continue sharing. So I see from part of your code that you actually took the 2D arrays. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an exercise for you. I think I think it's worth trying because part of your code that we're trying to understand also have a working with the 2D arrays. So this is an exercise to actually generate a team score. So you are tracking the score of multiple teams participating in a competition. Each team consists of several players. The total score of a team is the sum of its players' score. So you need to generate random player score for each team, display each team score and their total, but you focus only on this requirement, which means that you generate a random player score for each team. So how are we going to do that? The first function that the exercise is about to, the requirement for this exercise is at the start is to write a method that's called generate scores. So you are passed a number of teams, okay, and number of players. So you actually, when you call this method, pass it, number of teams is 2, and the number of players is 6. Okay, so you have to write this generate scores method. It takes the number of teams and the number of players as an input, and it created 2D list, which is a list of lists, where each sublist represent a team player score. So we are having a 2D array like that, and we have the columns and we have the rows. Okay, so this is team 1, and we have here team 2. Okay, and then we have the players. This is player 1, player 2, player 3. Typically, columns start from 0 and rows in programming start from 0. So you will generate a random number, a random scores between 1 and 10 in a nested loop. And then you will insert each player score inside the 2D array, like that. So if you have 6 players, it means that you need to have 6 columns. if you have two teams, it means that you need to have two rows, team 1 and team 2. So I believe that should be your exercise. Try it until we meet again on Sunday to continue discussing about the code that you have. But I need something from you, please. I need to be able to see what is the requirement towards the code that you provided to me. What is the question that is provided from your teacher, or the requirement? What do you need to modify, or what do you need to do with this code?
It's just something we did in class.
So you did it in class, but what was the requirement? To modify part of the code?
Yeah, modify, like maybe I add a subroutine, like award bonus points.
Okay.
Something like that.
Do you have anything written that can help me maybe prepare for the next classes so that we really match what is required for you from the teacher?
When that's the code we used last time, we're not using it anymore. I don't think we are. I think next time we go back to school, we're not going to be using that code anymore. It's just
Okay.
something that we.
Okay. So it's something that you have done, but you feel that you're not comfortable with it. That's why you asked to discuss it. Is that true, or I mean, how should we use that code to explain things to you? You need to know how it works, or you don't need?
I just want to do practice based on. No, you just do practice on Python, like with those kind of functions and
okay.
things.
So it's not necessary that we have to follow exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay. Okay. So I just need to follow similar concepts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have similar
You can teach me new
codes?
things as well to make it easier. I don't mind.
Okay. May I know if you have similar codes so that it gives me indication of also what you might be weak in? So if you can provide me, because I don't want to, I mean, if I guess, maybe I one time match what you are looking for, maybe 2 or 3 times I miss what you are looking for. So if you have difficult code that you would like, also give me an indication so I can arrange the class slides based on the difficulty. So I can start with something simple, and then we can grow the code until we reach something that you fear or you find it not comfortable dealing with. Do you have something like that, or you don't have?
I don't. Well, my teacher did provide us with a Python cheat sheet, which is like all the everything we need to know.
Okay. The most important for me is that what you find difficult in. So
yeah, just questions.
Okay. May I know? Yeah. Okay. Tell me. Yeah.
Give me a minute. Since when they have questions and they're asking for a lot of things, and then when I add it, sometimes they don't run. I don't know, because maybe I put in the wrong order or what. But I don't know.
That's why I would like to see the exact
I don't have it anymore.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so it means that you just need to practice writing Python code that is similar to your exam at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's now it's clear to me. Now, okay, the requirement is clear to me now. So, okay, now you have to tell me now before we end the class, what you liked about this class and what you didn't like, so that we try to avoid it in the next session. This is open. I mean, I'm here to help you. So if I don't know what you like or what you don't like, then I'm not able to help you. So you tell me what you liked and what you didn't like, and what you want in the next session.
Well, there's nothing I didn't like, but I want to do more questions, because I feel like I only know what I don't know once I do the questions. Maybe because sometimes when you teach me and I'm like, yeah, I understand, but when it comes to doing it, maybe it doesn't process. I don't know.
So it means that we need to do more practice. Okay, that's clear to me. Okay, that's good. Okay, I bring more questions and we practice together and see what you could be missing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, see you next
you.
class. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.